Hello and good evening, everybody. The world has gone mad. My worldview, my life was transformed when my parents told me Santa Claus no longer existed.
Me
No
too.
matter how high, no matter how hard I tried, I could not debunk it.
Me too. And by the way, so sorry, my dear friend. I just we're going nuts. I'm serious. I'm in a parallel universe. How about this? How about one day on your own, your parents come to you and say, "Hey, Shaun, hey, you ever wonder about Santa Claus?" Oh, yeah, there ain't no Santa Claus. Why did you tell me? I wasn't even asking. Why did you tell me this? Why didn't you just let it go? I could have maybe, I don't know, grown out of it or not brought it up. Say, hey, Shaun, while we're at it, you want to know how we make babies? Oh, dear God, no. So your daddy got drunk one night. No, I don't want to hear about this. So let me explain something to you. First, my mind is blown. Number one, if I am the
This guy doesn't exist. He doesn't exist, Lionel.
He's laughing his ass off. He is laughing his ass off. He is thinking to himself, this is the most incredible thing in the world. First, if I were Pam Bondi, and let me just say something. I've known her for years. She's from my hometown. We worked at the state attorney's office, prosecutor's office. Good person. If I were there, you wouldn't know me. You would have, like Merrick Garland, like Bill Barr. You would say, I'm the attorney general. I don't have to be a star. I don't have to be anybody's pal. I don't have to be cute little Barbie. You won't know me. They'll wonder, who is this guy? Because I'm also, in addition, remember, the Department of Justice handles federal cases. Bank robberies are federal. Kidnapping, federal. Fentanyl, huge drug cartels, organized crime, the mafia, fishing, piracy. Big. You don't just do this. You've got divisions. You've all over. We've got a 350 million person country here. This is what this is what he does. So first of all, I'm wondering, and let me just imagine this. Okay, we're at a pub, and I got a bunch of shot glasses, and each shot glass is a possibility. Possibility number one: Trump doesn't know what the he's doing. He hires a bunch of nincompoops, retardates, morons, narcissistic, star wannabe hacks from the world of, whatever this thing is, YouTube or whatever, who just got a big mouth and don't know what they're doing. Dan Bongino, worthless as tits on a boar hog. A waste of time. He is circling a vulture to basically move in, and then he got cash. You got cash, but like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm confused. Wait, no, seriously, Shaun, you don't understand. I've got all these I've got these files. Yeah, files, that's it. I got these files, and before you know it, oh my, that hurt, by the way. What are you doing? Nobody. Now, let me go through this. Number one, we don't even know who killed or how Virginia Giuffre died. Don't you understand this? We have the attention span of a gnat. Whatever happened to her? The number one person. That's number one. Okay. Number two, this business of, okay, I please forgive me, because this is why I've been going crazy this morning. Everybody has this idea that it's the Mossad. Remember her. I don't know what happened to her. We just forget. Not Harvey Levin. I mean, you've been terrific on this, but nobody cares. Can you imagine if one day we said, God forbid, Shaun Attwood found ground to death in a fertilizer accident. Anybody know? And we talked to your family, and you're like, no. Ziggy went to, yeah, well, it happens. Wait a minute. Does anybody not care? You know, it's life's like that. That's what we have here. Okay. Number one, everybody says it's Mossad. It's Mossad. Would you stop this Mossad? Can we curse on here? BS about how they know everything and they're everywhere. First and foremost, if I'm in charge of Mossad, if that's it, do you think, Shaun? Now let's face it. Don't let that smile and that cutesy guy. You know the deep, dark, dank, seamy underbelly of society more than anybody. You've rubbed people with killers and drug mafia. Do you think that Mossad, or whoever the hell it is going to let hard drives accumulate to be picked up in a search warrant? Do you think somebody says, hey, we've got 150, Jesus, we got 50 terabytes. Look at them. I bet you there's Ring videos. I bet you the old Betty Hill, Father Dave, whatever the old Monty Python skits. Go through this. Does anybody think for a moment and all those YouTube tags that they're sitting there? Number one. Number two, whenever under the rules, when you have a search warrant issued, you receive what's called an inventory. The inventory says constables came in, we looked at the Attwood Enterprises place, and we found this, and this, just so that you know. We took bank books, computers, whatever. So you know what they took, right? If I'm on the phone with you, there's a wiretap. You get an inventory saying your name, your voice was picked up, so they know what's picked. They know what's taken and that sort of thing. Who has them? Who's gone through them? Do you believe that they've got anything? Go through those terabytes. And Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, she said, "Well, we got how many terabytes? Go through it. There's nothing on there." If it is Mossad, they're not going to let it. As soon as they're done, they call me and go, hello, Jerry. Listen, this one's full. We'll be right over. Or it's on a cloud, probably before they even had cloud technology. They don't have to pick. There's nothing there.
Let me just add a detail to that confirms what you're saying. So when Joseph Recurry, the Florida cop, was seizing the property from Epstein's Florida property, he turned to one of his colleagues, John Mark Duggan, and said, I don't think this stuff's ever going to see the light of day. And then if we give it to our superiors, it's never going to see the light of day.
Yeah.
And they were shaking their heads. Joseph Recurry ended up dead in his 50s, perfectly fit, in great health. John Mark Duggan, who tried to make copies of the tapes, fled to Russia, left the country in fear of his life. That was the chain of the evidence. That's what happened.
Well, that was in Florida, but here in New York and the plains and that sort of thing. So let me just explain something to you. You do recall that virtually everything I said about Diddy turned out except this stupid concession for state life. But this was a joke. This was a joke. White slavery? Hey, Diddy, guess what? Good luck. You're a pimp. We just adjudicated you a pimp. Everything I said about that. Everything turned out to be true. And people said, you're out of your mind. No Twitter says, I told you. Okay, I'm telling you the truth here. If I represented you, I said, let's go to court. You represent Mr. Attwood? You goddamn right I represent Shaun Attwood. What do you got? Well, he was on the flight log. You goddamn right he's on the flight log. I told you about that. Guess who he was sitting next to? Ethel Kennedy, Henry Kissinger, a nun. Do you know how many people? I think Bobby Kennedy said he was there with his family and business. There were people who, do you know, in New York, I could take the Upper East Side where he lived. This was the hottest ticket in town. Everybody wanted to go to his dinner parties. He was the biggest thing anybody's ever seen. Of course I went there. I wouldn't. You would be nothing if you weren't on that list. Okay, so what? Well, you were on the client list. The what? Let me see the client list. Oh, that's nonsense. What is this client list going to do? What does that mean? Well, it's a client list. Authenticate it. Let's go to court. Who says, Your Honor, at this particular time, we enter into record. Excuse me. What is that? It's a client list. Who authenticates it? Who says, well, this is what it is? We found it. Anybody here? Is Ms. Maxwell? Do you know what this is? I don't know what that is. Mr. Epstein. Oh, damn, he's dead. Anybody else? No. What is this list? I have to authenticate something. If I go in and I take something from your desk and I say, look at this, the Swiss accounts, the Swiss bank accounts. Good. Authenticate it. Somebody's got to say, is this a true and accurate depiction? Yes, that's what you say it is. That's not my handwriting. I don't know what this is. So what is this list? Let's just forget the list. Forget the list. Forget the flight manual, the flight logs. They'll tell you here. We write everybody's name down all the time. It's called the law. Hell, you can't go on a charter boat to go fishing in the Gulf without writing. What does this mean? Especially when they see you always concede stuff. Mr. Attwood, have you been in the? Oh, many times. Guess who I saw when I was there? Oh, I've been to the. It was some of the best parties ever. Okay, fine. Now, Pam Bondi says we have the list. Then they say we don't have them. Oh, I'll tell you. And please forgive me for jumping around. You know who absolutely just floored me is this Caroline Leavitt. Caroline Leavitt was this 27-year-old firebrand, and she just ruined whatever reputation. Now, I know you conspiracy, you know, that you little Robert Klein there. All of a sudden, on the day she comes out to lie, she's not wearing her cross. Did you notice that? I'm not going to lie before Jesus. I'm not board that cross because I'm going to go out there and boot these people out there. I'm not going to talk about that. I know you like me to do that. So anyway, so she went out and Peter Doocy said, "Did you say this? Well, don't you understand that the Attorney General was speaking not as far as the list?" And Peter says, "Excuse me, I got the quote right here. Do you have the list? The list is on my desk." Well, she meant what Leavitt should have said was, you ask her. I'm not a mind reader. I represent the White House and the president. I don't know what's going on. Get away from that. That thing stinks. It's just, and she kept coming out. Meanwhile, hello, Ghislaine. Yeah, listen. You know you're being held for nothing, right? Remember that dude? Yeah, Epstein. I don't think he existed. Or maybe he did, but I don't know what he did. I don't know. They don't have a list of anything. You're the only person who's ever been charged with being a racketeering and kind of an enterprise or a co-conspirator, and there's nobody else there. Nobody you traffic. Nothing. Mr. Attwood, is a judgment and finding of the court that you be adjudicated guilty of trafficking cocaine. What? Where's the cocaine? We don't have it. You don't have it? Wait a minute. Where is it? Just trust me. You trafficked in it. Conspiracy? No, trafficking. Look at that face. She's thinking, because they told her, she's doing this for mommy and daddy. Because they told her, don't even think about it. Look what happened to your old man. All right. You know, he couldn't swim and they can't either. You know what I mean? She says, okay. That's what happened to the son of Sam. That's what happened to, that's another story. They just say, you're going to be the son of Sam. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Anyway, so let's go back. So listen, Ghislaine, you're in prison and we don't know who you trafficked. Nobody's there. We don't know any of the names of these people. All of the people, all of these lists, not one person prosecuted. Let me say this again. Not one person prosecuted ever by anyone. And whose name is on that one? Maureen Comey. Ta-da! Isn't that something? That name keeps popping up. This story. So listen, let me go back to your case. Mr. Attwood, you've been found guilty of trafficking. Well, where's the drugs? There are no drugs. But trust me, you did this. And you're charged in human trafficking. Who? Remember, she's human trafficking. Who? People. Who? Can I apologize? Well, maybe. I mean, I imagine in the old days when they used to say in the commission case, remember Rudy Giuliani, Gambino, Persico, this, Colombo, Fat Tony Salerno, Tony Ducks Corralo, the names. There they are. They're this one, Colombo's, the Lucchese's, the Genovese. You knew it. It's like, wow, look at this organization. She's by herself. She's like this. Who's it? Am I me? Where are the people? Who did I trap? Huh? It's bizarre. So anyway, instead of anybody saying, look, Trump should say, I really effed up royally. These subtards, they're out of here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where we're going. Do you remember the day at the White House when they had all of these influencers there? They had Cat Turd was there. I think Libs of TikTok were there. They had who was all these other people. I mean, Loomer maybe. Loomer's all over the place. She doesn't know what she's like. You know. So anyway, they were handed. They said, "Thank you, Mr. President. One more thing. We got a goodie bag for you." Oh yeah, this is a little stationery from the White House. Oh, thank you. I want a little pen set from the. Oh, thank you. A little paperweight. Oh, and this. What's this? This is the Epstein files. You want them? These are the files. And the big one was a white folder. I think they went to FedEx or Kinko's or something, and they bought these things. They go, thank you. What the hell is this? And they said, we'll get more for you later. There's more where that comes from. Okay, again, volunteered. Then she came out one time and she said, I saw 10. Didn't she say tens of thousands of children? Tens of thousands? Did I hear that right? Didn't you hear that? Tens of thousands? I thought, no, she didn't mean it. Maybe tens of thousands of minutes or tens of thousands of bytes or there's no, all the orphanages and all, there's not tens of thousands of, there's not tens of thousands of football team, but nothing. Anyway, again, this hyperbole and this. And so we're saying, you brought it up again. Well, can we see it? We'll get to you in a moment. Here comes cash. Remember I told you? Yeah. Remember I told you? Yeah. Well, listen, there's going to be more. It's cash. You bring. And then Bongino, who feels left out, he said, well, as they played pictures or just clips of him saying it's Mossad, it's Putin, it's James Bond, it's whatever. It is a mess. And somewhere the people who are maybe really who used to worry, they say, guys, we are home free. Look at him. Look at that face. That's that badass. Look at that badass. Imagine going to the barber. Can you take it off? Almost. Anyway, this badass. Look at me. Look at that face. I'm in charge of this. Right now, as we speak, the people who might have stood justice, this is a joke. Anytime somebody brings up the name Epstein files, you know what people think? Yeah, right. Now, there are people saying, Shaun, there are people who believe this guy's still alive. Now, he's dead. He's dead. He is dead. He's there in the room. The family members are there. Michael Bondi, the forensic pathologist I know. And let me go back a little bit. Let me back up. The reason why, what am I saying? They said he committed suicide. And they said, we're going to show you some videos. Did you see the videos?
Is it AI? Is it AI videos?
The same people who took the videos of the plane hitting the Pentagon took these pictures. What the hell is this? This a Loch Ness monster? What is this? No, that's it. No, what is this? No, that's it. No, seriously, what is it? That's Epstein. Well, what is it? What is he doing? I don't know. What am I looking at? I don't know. That's it. I don't know. Who took? I thought you said the camera wasn't working. You said the camera wasn't working. Well, the camera was working. Wait a minute. You said it wasn't working. What is this? That's what we took. Well, wait a minute. What's that? Who set this camera up this way? Imagine this. You are the most important person. By the way, can we put the camera here? No, over there on the corner. Yeah. How about right in front of the cell? No. Don't you want to? No. Why don't we put the camera in front of him? this prized person. No, put the camera 300 feet away around the corner, so and get a real blurry lens. And can we get some stuff off the? You got it? Okay, good. There we go. That's terrific. So anyway, so they say he committed suicide. Now, let me just explain this to you. And this is the bottom line. This comes down to forensic pathology. Exhibit A, the hyoid bone. I'm so tired of saying this, but this is the prosecutor me. It's that simple. The hyoid bone, put your finger under your mandible, under your jaw, and go back a little bit. It's the only bone that floats. It's not connected to anything. And the only way to fracture it, you can get a clothesline, you can get into a car accident, you can do this. I can take the anterior to posterior, like choke, crush your trachea. I mean, I got to crush it. That's the way to do it, okay? Now, I got to be careful. If you merely do a suspension ligature and you just kind of, Michael Franzese, the best says, Michael Franzese, this guy knows everything. I met with Fred Tony. Yeah. He met with everybody. I met with Jesus Christ. Okay. Michael Franzese.
Michael's a good friend of the channel, Lionel, because
he's a good friend, but he's met everybody. Al Capone, I knew. He died in 1947. I knew Al Capone. Anyway, but he said something. He said, he said this. And his story says, I was in those cells. He goes, you can't hang from anything. You say, okay, what the hell do I put it? Well, you can do it around the bed, but this is a little strip of, what is this? Maybe some, no. And even if you did, the amount, the limited, whatever you want to call it, would be such that it would not fracture the hyoid bone. You get this, the carotid, okay? This is, the sleeper. This is the carotid restraint, rear naked choke. Then the thyroid cartilage, number 2, fractured. None of this. Remember, poor thing, Robin Williams. Remember Loren, Mick Jagger's, it's tragic. They did doorknob stuff. You don't need, that thing. It's this trauma cannot be replicated. This guy could have jumped out the window, dropped 30 feet, maybe, but it doesn't exist. So we can talk all day long about, here's the camera. You can't get this. We talked about Tartaglione.